Hello, welcome to the Unplanned, Unprepared, and Unpredictable podcast, where we have unplanned topics, your hosts are unprepared, and that leads to unpredictable conversations.
There you go.
That didn't feel right.
Oh, close enough.
Unplanned topics, unprepared hosts have unpredictable conversations.
Yeah.
I think something about the host should be first. Unprepared hosts, unplanned
Okay.
topics. Anyway, I guess we're always just gonna go back and forth on the name. But anyways, all right.
No.
Timothy, how are you? How are you feeling
Oh,
today?
I'm great.
You're the reason we skipped last week.
No,
Was it not?
dude.
What do you mean?
No, I was waiting to talk about this. No. Last
Okay.
week
Uh-huh.
we agreed that we were gonna do it Thursday, right?
Yes.
And then you said, "Oh yeah, I can do it at 10."
Yeah, I could have done it at 10. Yes.
Yeah, and I said, "Okay."
Look, no, but you
Yeah.
didn't remind me.
I was online on like from 10 to
Hey,
11.
Let's be
Yeah.
well, why don't you text me?
I was waiting for you.
No, let's be sincere. You were hoping I wouldn't show up. Huh?
No, I
No?
was on for the entire hour, so it wouldn't have mattered.
But you're probably doing other stuff.
Not really. I mean, I was playing a game,
Exactly. You were just
but
playing games and hoping, you know what? I hope he doesn't show up because it's so late. I want to go to bed.
ah, yeah, right.
All right.
What a
Look,
what a
just take
convenient
responsibility.
excuse.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you take
I
do it.
forgot. I admit that I forgot, but hey,
There
man,
you go.
like, hey, I usually text you, hey, you gonna do the podcast tonight? I feel like I usually do that. So for 1 week, man, carry
Did you do
your
it tonight?
end. Tonight,
Did you do it? Uh-huh.
earlier today, remember on Instagram, you're like, you sent me a reel of something, and I was like,
No.
hey,
So
uh huh,
no, yeah, sure.
yeah,
But
sure.
that
Uh-huh.
when I texted you about the Thursday moving thing, that was my text to remind you.
To
Like you.
change your hey, you know what, the person who changes the schedule should be responsible
Mhm.
that we keep the schedule, like it's unusual for my natural rhythm. 10 o'clock on Thursday, I
Mhm.
planned to be doing nothing, so my body was confused. And then I think I realized the next day, and I just didn't really think about it or talk about it, but I assumed you
Mhm.
forgot also.
No, I was on.
That's
I was ready
weird.
to go.
Hey, you know
What do you
what?
mean?
I wish we could do like polls and stuff. Cause say we're supposed to meet somewhere at 10,
Mhm,
10:30. I don't show
mhm.
up. Normally, a person would text or something, right? Hey, where you at?
No, but what if you were, like, you also weren't feeling that great, and you didn't wanna do it, and you were already,
What?
like no, listen,
Uh
and
huh.
you were already like, "Oh, you were already, like, in bed or whatever, right? Like, me texting you would obligate you then to come on and record, right?
No, I don't think so. I think I'd be
So you
like,
would have said no?
yeah, if I didn't feel like doing it, yes, I wouldn't have said yes. I would have
That's
said,
not that's pretty inconsiderate, no?
wait. Wait, so either way, it's
But
like a lose
you would
lose, huh?
exactly. It is a
I don't
lose-lose.
get it. Anyway, just hey, okay, look, okay, that I don't even know.
Yeah,
You
just
box me
just take
into a corner. What do
responsibility.
you mean? What do you mean? Hey,
Just take
oh
responsibility.
man, this is one of the times I wish we had a larger audience to poll.
I know.
My
Whose fault is
goodness.
that?
Both of ours. It's both of ours. Why are you blaming me? We started on this premise together.
No, if you wanted to, we can, I think, 10x the audience we have overnight.
From 1 to 10, from 2 to 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's possible, but like, hey, you're lacking conviction, okay? Like we started with this idea, and you're sort of wavering.
No.
What do you
I'm
mean? No,
saying
no, no.
you're the one who is hoping we had a big audience right now, right? You're the one wishing for it.
Situationally, sure,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'm not wishing for it.
What?
But
Every week,
I'm
I
just
feel like you're telling us that we should be opening up the podcast to people we know. Every week, I feel like.
no. I'm just saying
All
you
right.
have if you really wanted it, you have the option. I'm
You know
giving you
what?
the option.
I'm gonna start texting your wife to tell,
Mhm.
because I assume she listens regularly. I want
I
to
don't think so.
hear. You
I
don't
don't
think
think
so?
so.
Not even her? Hey, if she won't do it, what are the chances of anyone else being able to do it?
She's
Hmm.
busy, man.
Does she commute
Yeah.
to work?
Yeah.
So she could listen to it during her commute.
but I think she's usually like on the Bible app.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. We can't even
Testing.
compete with the Bible. That's crazy. My gosh, it's
Whoa,
2000 years
whoa,
old. It's not even like
whoa,
current. My
whoa.
goodness. All right.
Uh-huh.
All right, anyways, you got any topics for today?
No, do you? I
No.
purposefully didn't think
Huh?
of a topic. I
What's that
purposefully like
mean?
because I feel like the beginning episodes, most of it was just me bringing, you know, things I wanted to talk about. You know,
Mm,
so I wanted to
that's
give
not true.
you.
That's definitely not true. What are you talking about? That's definitely not true.
Are you
Oh,
sure? I'm pretty
we need
sure.
some measures, some metrics, because you're just putting out outlandish ideas and stuff. And I
No, I'm
mean,
like
what?
the whole like golf is not a real sport. That was me.
That wasn't a whole topic. We talked about it for like 2 seconds, and that was one out
No,
of like
that
15
was that
episodes.
was. I think we named our episode title that.
You
Like,
named the episode titles.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my
It was a
goodness.
big. It was at least a big chunk of it. Um, yeah, you did. Okay, you brought guns. Um, fruit snacks and Donald Trump. I don't even remember what that
Oh,
is.
you're looking. Okay, I'm not logged into any of our. I got a new phone actually, so I'm not logged into any of our social media stuff.
Oh, what phone did you get?
iPhone 16 Plus.
So,
Uh huh.
explain to me, like, do you genuinely believe iPhones are better? Like, is the best option, or are you just kind of stuck in the Apple garden?
I mm, I think Apple is better. You know why? You know what's really funny? Well, when's the last time you had an iPhone?
I think it was the iPhone 6.
And what was your issues with it?
It did like all the things I can customize on my Android, like I couldn't on the
Okay,
Apple.
okay.
Like, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So what features are you using on your Android phone that you can't get on an iPhone?
So, well, I don't think this is the case anymore, but back then, like you couldn't organize apps into like folders or like move them around however you wanted, right?
I feel
Like
like that's been a
Apple's
feature for a long time, but okay, sure.
no, but this like back then you couldn't, and Samsung already had that.
All right, but what about now? What are some things you're using? Okay, what are
Uh-huh.
some important things your Android phone does for you? And I'll tell you if the Apple phone does it. And what's really funny, like a week and a half ago, I changed to a Z Flip, a Samsung Z
Mhm.
Flip phone.
Uh-huh.
I had it for 4 hours before I decided, you know what, I'm gonna return it and get an iPhone the next day. I literally went to the store the next day to get an iPhone.
Mm.
But okay, so what are some things you use your phone for that you don't think Apple is capable of doing?
So I have the Z Fold, so it folds out into a much bigger screen.
Yep. So the screen was bigger on my Z Flip, even though it was, yeah, smaller than the
Mhm.
Z Fold.
Yeah, and
Slightly
I
longer.
I enjoy being able to do multiple apps at one time.
What does that mean? Okay.
Like I'll have like Netflix playing on the corner of the screen, and then
hmm
I'll be playing games or like sending messages on a different part of the screen.
So because of the bigger screen, but that's not exclusive to Android. You can get a big iPhone, but you can do picture in picture, like have
No,
one
you
thing
can't.
open. Uh,
No, I think that's also a very recent feature for Apple, right?
I had the 14 and it did that, and I'm sure like well, so like I think it's not the year the phone came out, like a 12. A 12 can
Mhm.
do it now, but I don't know if a 12 could do it when it first came out, because of
Right.
software update. So at least 2 or 3 years is how long that feature does feel kind of recent, but
Mhm.
we have it now and it's great. It works very,
So
very
I
good.
mean, I prefer just having the phone that already has all the like features instead of having to wait for it to appear later.
Oh, okay. So what else do you use your phone regularly for that you don't? Okay, so picture in picture, we have that now.
But it's not picture in picture, it's, like,
Separate
multiple apps,
separate
like, so I can be playing a game on one app. So, one thing I actually do a lot, is, like, I'll have the Bible app on one side and, like, notes open on the other, so I can be taking notes while, like, referring back to the Bible.
So I don't actually. I'm not sure, but I don't think you can have multiple windows open. Um. Okay. That's one thing that we might not be able to do perfectly. All right. What else?
Mm. Um, I think the cameras are better.
Not
Well, the
anymore. I think.
I think the zoom is definitely still better on the Samsung.
So the iPhone 16 Pro, I looked up a couple lists. It has
Mm.
the best camera compared to other cameras, and I know exactly what you're talking about because my brother-in-law has
Mm,
one, and he could
mm.
zoom in really, really far. So now the iPhone 16 Pro has 25x zoom, and it's pretty
Oh, okay.
clear.
Okay.
So the camera might be better than whatever is available on the market right now,
Mm,
possibly, or
mm,
at least at the same level of.
mm.
So that's
The
already
other
two things that don't matter anymore. Okay.
anymore, right? But it's you're paying a premium. Like
Uh
you
huh.
can't really do that without getting like the best of the best on the iPhones. Like Android, I think has more options, right?
Hmm.
Like I could get the flagship Galaxy, or I can get the Fold, which I have. There and people who want kind of smaller form, they have the ability to have the zip. I mean, the flip that you were talking about. So I don't know. It just feels like to me you have more options. Like being able to have multiple apps open, I think was huge. I think you guys have widgets now, right?
Yes, we do have
Yeah.
widgets. Oh, we can do split view on iPhone? Question mark. Okay, I don't know.
um, and oh shoot, what was I gonna say? The next thing was
All right, not yet. I don't think yet.
uh
Multitasking with picture in picture. Okay.
widgets. Oh shoot. Um, 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 um not apps.
I think people are saying we can do it. You can use a picture in picture. Okay, picture in picture app switcher, or use app switcher to easily no. Okay, switch behind.
Or you have to get like
Split view.
I was
Oh,
gonna
that's
say
iPad. Uh huh.
I
All right.
like that it's a USB-C.
The 16 Pro is a USB-C. There we go.
No, but
Uh huh.
again, right? Like you're telling me all these things that have been it's just been lagging. Like all these things that you're talking about, it's like, oh, now you can do it on the iPhone. Great. Like if I needed a phone now, maybe I would, consider the iPhone. But when I needed a phone 3 years ago, iPhone didn't have any of these,
All
but
right.
my Fold did. So
Sure. All right. Well, how old is your
yeah,
Fold?
3 years.
Okay. Well, name one more thing maybe that you think the Android does that the iPhone does not do.
Um, does iPhones do like game emulation well?
Like console games, but you
Yeah.
play. I have no. I assume it'll be okay. I wonder what the limitation could be. I'm sure they
Well,
have an app. Yeah.
yeah, maybe. I just a lot of these when you do emulations, you need to bring a lot of files into the phone. And on the Android, you can navigate your like
Like
file
jailbreak
structure.
it.
No, no, no. Like
No.
get into the different folders of where like the data lives and stuff like that. Can you do that with an iPhone? Can you like get into like how like on your computer you can go to my computer and
So
look at all the different
I'm
folders?
sure you could, but I don't think it's like easily accessible as it is on an
Yeah.
Android. But I
Yeah.
like
So
I like being told what we need to see. You know.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if you don't really have thoughts of your own and you just,
That's not. I
you're a sheep.
choose. I choose to listen to Steve Jobs. Wait, what's his name? Tim Cook.
Tim Tim Cook, yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah.
Mm.
I
But
like that a smart man, older man, is telling me what to do and what I need and what I should have.
mm, all right.
All right.
Yeah, all right. No, but like on my phone I have like a bunch of like PlayStation 2 games, like Nintendo 64, like in the old school consoles.
But is
But
that
like I said,
really what you need, or yeah? Do you want? I mean, like, why can't you? Is that the best way to use something like that? Your phone?
I think it is the best, like the phone is the best way to do it because it's like always accessible. Like what's the alternative? doing it on your
Oh,
computer.
always accessible. Yeah, your
Yeah, because
computer.
these games, like, it's like these games are fun to play when like I have nothing else to do, right? Like if I'm at home on my computer, I'd rather be playing, like a good computer game, like a modern computer game.
Exactly.
But if but on the phone, like from the app store, those games are pretty, like surface level. They're not super deep, right? They're really casual games, right? But if you have these old school console games, they're like story wise and gameplay, they're pretty rich. So
Okay, that seems very niche to me, like a very unique need or a desire. Because I like that phone games are shallow, superficial. Not a lot of thought. And then if I want to play something more with that has more depth, I would go
mm.
to a medium that is more appropriate for something like that, like computer or my Nintendo Switch,
Like
something like
what
that.
if you're commuting somewhere, like you're on a
Nintendo
like
Switch.
a subway or something?
Uh huh.
Well, let's say you don't have your Switch on you because you didn't think that you would need it.
I would take a nap and just open up my
Let's
phone.
say that, but that's my point.
Uh
Like
huh.
having the ability, having the option is good because like something that happens to me a lot is like I have kids, so sometimes my kids fall asleep in the car, so I'm kind of stuck in the car with them while they take a nap. But in that moment, it's like perfect to pull out my phone and play these games. Like I wasn't expecting to need to do that, but because I have my phone on me all the time, I have the option to do that.
I have never felt that desire. Like I've never been stuck anywhere where I'm like, you know what? I wish I had a gaming console right now, right here. Yeah, I've never like the
You
things I
know,
can do on a phone currently have
mhm.
satiated me plenty. Go
You
ahead.
know, people from 1950s never had the urge to get on the internet, right? It's
Uh,
you don't feel the
uh,
urge until you've experienced it. Like people who've never had steak before don't have the urge to eat like a really nice steak.
what I know what a console game is, and I've never felt a
But you've
strong
you've never you've
uh
never
had it on
had
my
it on
phone.
your phone, like had the convenience of being able to play it and like whenever you want. So I mean, so this is to say that that's the reason why for me, Android just always makes more sense than iPhone.
Okay, so here we go. I had an iPhone 14 Pro, and then
Mhm,
I tried a brand new, just came out Z Flip 6, Samsung
mhm.
Galaxy, and even okay, no, I can't say this part because it gives away too much about myself. But
What?
no, nothing. So,
What?
but no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to
Say
give
it.
away certain things about myself, and that's the
Okay.
fun of the podcast too, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
in case like slipping. Anyway, so
It's like navigating a landmine a little bit.
a minefield. Yes.
Yeah. Mhm,
Yes. But less stakes. The stakes are not that high.
mhm,
But so I had it and it looked nice. The screen did look nice.
mhm,
I don't know. I'm not sure if it is nicer than my iPhone 16. It was bigger for sure, which it was not. That was nice.
mhm,
One. So of course I did feel the pain of trying to change ecosystems because everything I do is in the cloud, like iCloud,
mhm,
and to change over would be honestly almost impossible. And I know that's on purpose, and I don't
mhm.
like to be. That's sort of like being enslaved almost, you
It
know.
is. Yeah. Mhm,
But the opposite is true. If you wanted to switch to the iPhone, it would be just as difficult to leave your ecosystem. Well, I guess a lot of it is Google, and I
yeah.
do use
I
a
don't
lot of
think.
Google.
Yeah. It wouldn't affect me in the least.
What? There's no way it wouldn't affect you in the least. It would affect
Like
you.
what would affect me?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
hey, but oh, okay. So here's the reasons I switched. One, I
Mhm,
thought
mhm,
I thought iPhone's camera were just far inferior, but then I did some research. The 16 plus at least is on
mhm,
par, if not better, than other. Like people film videos on iPhone, which it's not like as well known and done on Android phones, like any Android phone. So the camera is good, but if you wanted to, if I wanted to, right? If I wanted to record a 4K movie on my phone, I could
Mhm.
do it with the iPhone much better than any other device. Okay, so that's one. So camera, I really
But
wanted a
that
really nice
but
camera.
if we're talking niche,
Hmm.
that sounds pretty niche
It
to
is
me.
niche. I admit it. You should admit
Mhm.
it, and I should admit it. But I do admit it.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
fairly
Yeah.
niche. A 4K
Mhm.
movie filming camera on my phone. I'm not. I'm not that at all. Like I've never had. I don't even have that many videos on my phone, to be honest.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But the camera is very nice. Finally on the 16 Pro. Okay, so
Mhm.
camera is really nice. It felt laggy. Like the Z Flip, it didn't feel as smooth as my iPhone experience. And you
Mhm.
know why? That's because the person who made the phone, designed the phone and all the hardware
Mhm.
isn't part of the development of the software. Yes? Who makes the software? Google or Android company?
Yeah, but iPhone hardware is also Samsung.
No, sure. But
Oh. Oh, but you mean like the actual phone?
what?
You mean the actual phone?
I mean, like
Like
the pieces work together well. This is a criticism I've heard before, or not. What's the opposite of criticism? Like a plus,
praise?
a positive. Oh, so like iPhones, and if that's what it felt like to me. I'm not sure if it's placebo, but
Mhm.
an iPhone felt smoother to me because the person who creates the operating system is also creating the hardware, and they work better together, which makes sense to
Okay.
me because a computer you just put on Windows, right? But
Mhm.
depending on all the pieces of a computer, like CPU, GPU, and RAM, and all that stuff, it
Mhm.
could run very, very differently. Your experience could be very, very different. The Android phone, the Z Flip 6, felt very laggy. Like I had a lot, there was a lot more times during a day when I was
Mhm.
using the phone, when I was like, oh my gosh, it just won't work. I have to restart it or reset it. And it was brand new, like out of the box. That's what it felt like.
Hmm.
So an iPhone feels smoother. The camera is better. Those are two things. What's another one? Oh, here's another one.
Oh,
I,
but
okay, go ahead.
go
Hey,
ahead. No, I
man.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
no, just the caveat is, I don't think it's fair to compare the Z Flip to like the flagship Apple phone.
Because it's not
Like,
a flagship.
yeah,
Whoa,
like
the
if
Z
you
Flip has a nicer processor. So I agree. I agree. Whoa,
Mhm, mhm.
I do. No, I acknowledge that the Samsung, whatever it is, the really good one, the main one,
The
the
Galaxy,
Galaxy, yeah, that camera is very, very nice. And I'm sure
the
the
S20 something, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
S20 something. Does that even make sense? Or how can they be ahead of us in iteration? No.
It, oh, actually, yeah, that's a good question.
Mm,
No, it
yeah.
it makes sense because iPhone did a lot of weird stuff too.
Like we skipped a little bit, but we started at 3 and we kept going, and I think we skipped like, a couple of years, but how are y'all at 23 already?
Man, actually, no. Oh, the
Yep, bunch of
Galaxy.
liars. I love Koreans, but that it's just weird. Hey, okay,
Uh-huh.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna keep talking. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
one more thing too. I have well, actually, okay, it's actually the YouTube and the Google Play Store felt way more addy than any of my experiences on the iPhone. Like the YouTube on Android versus the YouTube on iPhone, I'm telling you, like it just feels more addy, like way more ads, and the ads take up more of the screen. I was overwhelmed with people trying to sell me stuff. That's what it felt like on Android, which I feel like that's a very regular sort of PC Android kind of experience.
Hmm, interesting.
That's another thing. Oh, and part of that too. If you do
Mhm,
Google reviews, if you're on an iPhone, you can get paid cash out with PayPal versus if you do it on Android, you get like store credit for the App Store or whatever.
mhm,
That was a big downside to me because I have like $54 saved, and I just started the Google Forms Google review excuse me app this year,
mhm.
like a few months ago, and I'm already at $54. That's cash money instead of I have to use it on
Wait, is that is that opinions or
opinions. Yeah, the Google opinions like surveys.
mm,
Yeah, I use
mm,
that app, and
mm,
I get a couple dollars, maybe like two, three times. So once I hit $2, it cashes me out. I do that like a couple times a month, maybe. This year
mm,
so far, I've made $54. It's cash
mhm,
instead of I have to use it in the Addy Google App Store. But
mm,
okay, but okay. So I'm gonna argue for the Android real quick. The iOS App Store, it's more expensive for developers, so they do charge you more. Like if I want to so on Twitch, you can subscribe to different channels. It's $1 more if you subscribe through iPhone or the App Store.
Dang.
Yeah, like they charge. I don't know. Yeah, so many apps they charge you more on the Google app or on the iPhone App Store more so than the Android App Store. But it's all right. I mean, I don't mind. It's like pennies to us rich folks with the iPhone.
Rich. Oh, just FYI.
Yeah.
So, Galaxy, once they hit 10, that was in 2019. In 2020, they skipped to S20 from S10 to S20.
Okay, make sense to me.
Because it corresponds to the year.
Oh, so now they're like, okay. So they're
Yeah.
trying
So
to.
it's S24 now, and it's
I
2024.
see.
Yeah.
I see. I actually don't hate that. I
Yeah.
don't hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on 16 Pro and it's the year 2024. That doesn't make a lot
Yeah.
of
What
sense,
is
I
that?
guess.
Yeah.
Look. They are trying to make themselves seem more relevant, you know? I don't know. Anyways, is there anything else? So, it's laggy, it felt more addy. The camera wasn't as good. The Samsung Galaxy S24 camera might be almost as good or just as good, but yeah, there was no reason for me to try something else. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it might be my age, but I was overwhelmed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and plus, like the excuse me.
No, go ahead.
Why are you? Hey,
No, it's
you're
just
older
it's
than me,
funny.
sir. But
Oh, yeah. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
funny.
yeah. But I was overwhelmed. Like there was just too much going on, and it was too
Mm.
colorful. And battery life. I wonder whose battery life is better. But I've never had any issues with iPhone's battery life. At least the Z Flip, the battery life did seem kind of not good.
Mm.
And almost everybody, like you're in the minority of people I know. Almost everybody I know,
Mm.
except for like three. So I say I know like 30 families, maybe like 5 or 6 families, have Android phones. So everybody for me, they're blue bubbles. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
and plus, like you can share notes. Like I'll make some notes and then share it with iPhone users, and it's like seamless. Stuff like that. Can you do that kind of stuff with Android? Like for me at least, I'm far more productive, like doing work-related tasks, on my iPhone with other people who have the iPhone, which is way more people I know than Android users. So I'm able to be way more productive.
Like, what do you mean notes?
So we have a notes app, and you just like make notes, like new note. You write all this stuff, and then close it. New note, and then it just saves all your notes in an app, and then you can actually share with a phone number, and then you can collaborate seamlessly live with somebody else.
Have you heard of Google Doc?
So yes, but
Oh.
it's not as comfortable. So it depends. If you need more stuff, like more functions, yes, of course, Google Docs is better. But if you need just basic function and you need it to work very seamless and it's more like comfortable on a phone, I don't think Google Docs on your phone is as comfortable. But yeah, many apps like I can also make a list, share it with somebody who's an Apple user, their phone number, and then boom, we have like a to-do list that we share together.
Yeah, but that only works with somebody who has an iPhone, right?
Absolutely, which is most of the people I know, which is
But
most people that we know.
I can share my Google Doc with you, even though you have an iPhone,
Ex-
and we can collaborate on the Google
Exactly,
Doc.
exactly. No,
So
I agree.
yeah, so isn't that better? It's more reach. And you
Depends.
yourself said there's more features
More,
on the
yes,
Google Doc.
more features, but it depends on like what you need it for. Sometimes the Google Doc, like I said, the Google Doc on the phone is not as like easy to use, obviously as it would be on a computer, but it just feels cumbersome, in my opinion.
Well, because there's more features, right? Like if you're doing what you're doing on your notes,
Mhm.
isn't it just as easy to do it on your doc?
The additional features makes it like not so I want if I want something really simple, like I just need to write a
Mm,
note or make a list of all this stuff I need to get done.
mhm,
Boom 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 boom, make it like a checklist, a checkbox
mhm,
list. What is that called anyway? A list with a bunch of boxes and you just check them off
mhm,
one at a time. I'll make
mhm,
that list, share it with somebody on an iPhone, boom, it's over. Versus a Google Doc, I get in there, I have to, I don't know, make checkboxes myself, tab, click on the buttons, and then I have to share it, copy link, make the link, everybody who views the link, make them, or I have to like share it with specific email addresses.
mhm.
Oh my God. That's like an extra, 2 minutes of my time. And,
But
uh-huh.
you can do that with everybody, not just people with iPhone. So
I
like you
don't
can't collaborate with people who
No,
don't have
that
iPhone.
is a so I do that with you Android users, which is
Mm.
so frustrating. Come on, guys, let's just all use Apple. Like out of all the people like seriously,
Mm.
what's the percentage between Apple users and Android users?
I actually don't know.
What?
Yeah,
How can you
I don't
not?
really know.
Well, I guess you won't know because everybody is green to you or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I don't really have
Oh, you know
the.
what's cool too now? I can see you type. Like
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's RCS now.
What?
It's the RCS chat now,
I don't know what the RCS chat
which
is.
is the so that's like the rich. I think it stands for rich. Oh, actually, let me look it up.
Right. So
Uh,
iPhone got that, or you've always had that? Like I don't get it.
we've always had it, and iPhone just
Oh,
got
I
it.
see, I see, I see. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of cool because I can see when you're typing, see when it's read and delivered. I actually talked to somebody recently with a Android phone, and they're like,
Mhm.
I feel more insecure because before I could leave you iPhone users like open and you
Mm,
wouldn't know. You
mm.
know what? Now I'm glad we all have this accountability. Like that's crazy. Huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, you weirdos. Anyways,
yeah. No, I think, yeah, it is whatever you're comfortable with, for sure. But iPhone users, I feel like you guys can't leave iPhone. It's not always about better features. It's not really, all these things you talked about, it's you're talking about why being in this closed garden is so great. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
if you wanna stay in the closed garden, that's fine. Like, some people prefer prison to real life, you know?
That is a crazy like, I'm thinking about the Garden of
Oh.
Eden. Yeah, we should have stayed in there. It's a
No, no.
beautiful and wonderful garden where somebody is providing for us, telling us what we should have and what we need, and then only giving us features when we're ready for them. Hey,
You know why I use, prison as an example?
I don't care.
It's
Okay.
because
Okay.
it's because, like, there are legit people who spend, like, decades in the prison, and they can't integrate into society because
Recidivism. Recidivism?
what is that?
It's
Is that the
the
term?
it's a term where people like when you come back into prison,
Mm,
the rate of recidivism, something like that. It's very
mm,
high. Yes.
mm. Yeah, kind of a little bit similar to, like, the army, right? There are some people who have a really hard time, adjusting to civilian life because, like, in the army, much like prison, there's a lot of structure and a lot of routine and lack of options so that you're kind of told what you can and can't do. And yeah, so if you prefer that, yeah, I think that's great.
Look,
More
you're
power
painting a
to you.
picture
Huh?
of Apple users being sort of this brain dead, can't make decisions for their own, stuff like that. I would argue the other side are those people who go to a restaurant and they're like, I don't know what I want, or they can't even decide which
Mm.
restaurant to go to because there are
Yeah,
too many options.
yeah, that's Apple users.
That's Apple users.
Yeah, like, you guys are overwhelmed. That's why you're overwhelmed with Google Docs. You find it so cumbersome because you have too many features. You
I
just
like.
want.
I would actually
Yeah,
like more government, where the government's like, today you can only go to these three restaurants if you want, and I'd be like, that's a great thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense that you're Apple. Yeah, because you're an Apple user. Yeah, yeah.
You're no, I'm saying it like it's a good thing, but you're saying it like it's not a good thing.
No, no, I'm agreeing with you.
No,
I'm
you're
agreeing
not.
with you.
You're not. What I'm saying and you're agreeing with is something totally different.
Oh, but, again, you do you, right? You
Hey, man.
you
Hey,
do
that's
you.
very condescending. Anyways,
Yeah.
man, I wish there's some way we could figure out objectively which one is better.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever. That's an impossible task,
All
right?
right.
Because so much of it is people's preference. Yeah, like I think genuinely, some people prefer more options, and other people don't prefer options. You
That
know.
you're making it sound like one is much worse than the other.
No, no, I'm not. I'm genuinely not making passing
Okay,
judgment
okay. In the
on one
United
or the other.
States, there were over 150 million active iPhone users in 2023. That's half of. Okay, the other half is Android. I guess those are the only two choices, Apple or Android.
Well, there's Microsoft, but I mean, who uses that?
Microsoft has their own OS in a
They
phone.
did. I think they folded it though. They tried.
Apple iOS has always been the leader and recorded a share of almost 60% of in 2024. Oh, I see, I see. No, but yeah, 150 is less than half of the US population, but I'm assuming everybody has a phone, which obviously that's not right.
Hmm.
So we are at 60%. Android ranks second, well, obviously holding a lower market share.
Hmm.
So we're dominating. You are in the minority.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's more sheep, right?
What?
There's always more sheep than the free thinkers.
That's no. There are no. It's either wolves. I don't. I
Hey, think
don't.
about how many people were on the Ark versus people who were not on the Ark. Noah's Ark.
I understood. Um.
Yeah. Just because you're in the majority, I don't think that's it's a good
In
thing.
this case, it is, but that's a
Why
sig.
why is that a good thing?
Because we're in the majority and we're in the same ecosystem, we can interact with each other seamlessly. I think being in the majority in that way is good. It sounds amazing. We're all just on the same page. We trust each other more. Honestly, I do trust Apple users more than Android users. No,
Interesting.
and it's like a
Interesting.
classism almost, because like Apple phones, they're prohibitively more expensive.
You know what's funny?
I like
I
things that are
actually
prohibitively more expensive.
I actually don't think so. I think my phone at the time.
Oh, no, yeah. Look, yeah, the
Mhm.
peak, the top end of course, but even like we only get like four options, which you have, hundreds of options. And our four
Yeah.
options are like over 1,000 each, except for one of our versions. So,
Oh, so you prefer being this exclusive elitist.
oh, yep. You know what? You know what's funny? Wait, am I gonna get in trouble? Wait, you don't? You do too.
What do you mean?
You
No,
live in
I
nicer neighborhoods because you want to be surrounded by higher income folks. Yes?
yeah.
Okay, here's another example. Like
Right.
flights. What do you
Mhm.
fly the cheapest one or do you fly a specific airline?
I fly a specific airline, but because I mean, I only really fly for work and they pay for it.
Oh, who do you see, because the more you pay, the better the experience. And you want cost to be a barrier for those who can afford less.
No, I don't think it's about other people. I think it's yeah, I enjoy higher quality
Whoa,
stuff. So if
what
I
okay,
can
so
afford it,
what so
huh?
when you're traveling with your family, you
Uh-huh.
guys fly a lot?
No, not often.
Oh, okay. But like, do you choose the cheapest flight or the nicest airline?
No, we choose yeah, we know we go by price. We don't
Price?
really look
Like
at
Spirit? Would you fly Spirit or
no,
Frontier?
we don't fly Spirit.
So,
But Spirit
uh,
is like a defunct airline. They're going
defunct.
like well, they're functioning, but they're about to I think they're declaring bankruptcy.
Mm.
Like so it's like
Oh,
you can't really yeah. No who I think Spirit, like the majority of the people who flew it were like single people who, you know, they can, tough
okay.
it
How many
through that.
Spirit flights have crashed? Spirit with zero fatal crashes. Zero fatal crashes. But that
Yeah.
doesn't. So they've
No,
crashed.
you gotta look up like how many delays,
Oh,
canceled flights versus other.
Okay, so a lot of people talk trash about Spirit.
Mhm,
I only fly Delta because I had one bad Spirit. Like I flew Spirit like a couple times, and then
mhm,
I had one really bad experience, and
mhm.
then I just won't ever not fly Delta because, like
Dang. Okay.
if we can afford it, yeah, let's enjoy the shorter lines, the better
Yeah,
experience. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, but
keep them other folks out of here. What?
no, but wait, hold on. I agreed with you right
Uh-huh.
up until then.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You think Spirit is bad because of the people that fly in Spirit?
It's the cost. You know, like you get what you pay for in life.
Yeah.
And
But like I fly Delta,
uh-huh.
and I don't mind if there are other people there that are, lower socioeconomic class than me.
No,
But you're
hey,
saying that you
no.
you like to
Hey,
prohibit.
man,
Huh?
don't put words in
What?
my mouth. That's crazy. I'm not saying
You just
like
said you just said you just said
no.
you literally
No.
just said
Like
I
the
like Delta because I don't
hold on.
want.
Am I allowed to say
Uh-huh,
the riffraff? What is that? Riffraff? I want to say that. Riffraff is a rapper. Not what I want.
uh-huh.
Fine. Riffraff, I disreputable or undesirable people. Holy, that's not what I want to say. Okay, no, listen. I okay, so I think Spirit gets a bad rap, but like, yeah, like I like efficient money spending because
Yeah.
they give you exactly what you need, and obviously they're going bankrupt because poor they're mismanaging their whatever it is. I don't know why they're losing money. Maybe they're charging too little
No, I
or
think people have
demand.
stopped wanting to ride on Spirit,
Interesting.
right?
How is that possible? There will always be people who are below the average salary level, or maybe people who don't make enough money, they don't fly, probably.
I think the flaw is um I no you should look up how much of air traffic is business travel versus like leisure travel.
You know
I
what?
think
It's
it's mm,
no,
I
that
think
makes sense to me because I guess travel, if you're not making a lot of money, it's a luxury, and you just won't do it.
yeah.
And then if you do it for business, you won't fly Spirit.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Okay,
Who would fly Spirit
so
when you're not paying for
Spirit
it?
was a good idea, but when in actual practice, they're like, oh, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that makes
That's
sense to
what
me.
I think they were trying to sell, like Spirit was trying to like get bought by JetBlue or something like that, and then the government like said no.
What? Why would the government say no?
They block big mergers like that sometimes, if they think it's um gonna create too big of a monopoly.
So what doesn't make sense to me? Well, so this is a totally different topic, but T-Mobile,
Mm. Mm.
they just buy everybody. Like T-Mobile. Remember when they were gonna merge with AT&T, and
Mm.
I think the government was like, no, you can't do that. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, T-Mobile like has all this money. They're about to buy Sprint, and they're getting
Mm.
pretty humongous. But going back to what I wanted to say like 10 minutes ago, Spirit gets a bad rap for being a bad
Mhm.
airline.
Mhm.
But I always see on social media, at least, the people who are complaining about delayed flights and canceled flights are American Airlines. I feel like
Yeah, American Islands isn't that great either.
I hear they're like, I mean, it seems like their company is run by crazy people. Like they oversell flights and then kick people off. That doesn't make
Mm.
any. How is that allowed? It makes no sense to me.
Mm.
You don't know? Explain that to me. You don't know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, how can that be anybody's business strategy? Oh, you know what? We're gonna sell too many tickets and then kick people off because we sold too many tickets.
Well, so I think one of the things, the calculus is they look at how often people miss their flights, right? And then they kind of um,
You think that's
build
a
that
big
into,
number? Hmm.
yeah, even if it's not a big number, even if it's like, oh, on average, 5%,
Yeah,
like 5 people on every flight,
2 to
on
8%
average.
average. Really a lot.
What? What is it?
2 to 8%.
Yeah, that's a lot.
More than
Yeah.
five is a lot.
Yeah. So like, let's say that that's what, I don't know, like
Ten
how many
people.
people on a flight? Maybe on an average flight there's 100 people. Is that too much?
I was thinking like 300. Is that way too much?
I think 300 is way too much.
At any wait, how many people on a domestic flight?
I guess
Um,
it depends on the.
wait, the average flight carries 39 passengers.
Whoa.
Commercial, oh no, commercial airlines range from 100 to over 600.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. Okay. So let's say 100, like, because domestic planes aren't that big. So
sure, 5 to 8 people. Okay.
yeah, 5 to 8 people, then they'll probably say, you know what, we're losing money on this, so let's just overbook every flight by 5 people
Mhm.
and assume that 5 other people won't show up. Mhm.
and they usually don't have an issue unless everybody shows up for a flight, and then they just offer fake vouchers and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone like you that's stuff
Yeah.
like that happens on
That
Delta
should
too, you
not
know?
be allowed. That seems so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That that is the that is
Anyways,
the world.
my
Wow.
perception of flights. I mean, I'm flying actually this Christmas. I'm going to Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah?
But like I the reason I only fly Delta is because like a year ago I was trying to go to Texas on Spirit, and I got
Mhm.
there like, whoa. So the airport I was going to is way busier than I thought it would be. Like out unbelievably busy, and Spirit was like so busy, so many lines. And then 30
Mhm.
minutes before, like exactly if you were there 29 minutes before the flight, they're like you can't get on. You can't even try
Mhm.
to get on the plane.
Oh,
Um,
dang.
so I changed my flight to Delta. I was like an hour late for a wedding. I barely got there for the reception, and I only fly
Dang.
Delta.
Wow.
Yep. I just want, man, I'm gonna sound really terrible, but I want I
You want
like
poor people to
I
be
no
not
whoa,
on your flight?
whoa, whoa,
'Cause
whoa.
that's it
I'm
sounded
not
like
gonna
that's where
say
you
that.
were
I'm not
going.
gonna say that. I'm not gonna say
Okay.
that, but I
Okay.
don't mind paying more to have a better experience.
Mm.
Man, I honestly don't make. I mean, I make slightly above. Well, not anyway. I make above average salary. What's the average salary in America?
I think 60K.
Okay, let's look it up.
Yeah.
Salary in U.S.
Oh, by the way, Kevin's off today. That's why we're, you know, searching up our own
All
stuff
right, let's be.
today.
You fired him. To be honest.
Okay, go
he
ahead.
was an intern and you fired him. Okay, okay.
You just
63. Hmm?
you just didn't like being around uh poorer people than
You
you.
know what's funny? Yeah, he didn't make enough money, and we're the ones paying him. That's crazy. Okay, the
Uh,
average salary in the US, according to Google, is $63,795 per year.
yeah.
So I make
I
more
mean,
than that.
yeah.
That's actually, that's I feel like that's a good amount.
That's like
63,000? No.
can you can you imagine surviving on that though?
So no, no. I mean like
Yeah.
I live in one of the lowest cost of living states in on the east side.
Mhm.
And no. What is the after taxes? Let's take 20% off, like 12,000 off. So
Mhm.
you're near 41K
Dang.
divided by 12, that's less than 4,000 a month.
Mm.
I mean, your rent would have to be near what, like $1,000, $1,200 a month? I don't know. At the highest, I think that would be almost impossible. Well, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe that's livable, but that seems very, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah, a lot of people are upset that Trump made it. I don't know. We'll just see. Like, whatever
yeah.
happens, right? Like, it will be different for sure.
Dude, you know
Um,
what's crazy? I
why?
just read Ellen DeGeneres
Hmm.
and her wife, they're moving to the UK because Trump won.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's too. Hey, when you have that much money, like, what's the
Mhm.
big deal? Like, how much is your life gonna change? Is it just
But
principle?
but so that's what I think she's saying. But a lot of like kind of the conspiracy theorists, what they're saying is, oh, all these people who are gonna be like they're on the Diddy list or the Epstein list.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, those people are like running
Ah,
away. But then they're using the whole, well, it's because Trump is president, you know. That would be fire if they found out Ellen DeGeneres was like,
was a
yeah,
rapist.
a rapist and doing all these crazy things.
There's a
Just
lot of
imagine
victims, like famous victims, like Justin Bieber comes up a lot on my social media
that.
feeds.
Mhm.
Rihanna,
Mm.
okay, hold on, give me a second. Are we done with this topic we were just talking about?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Planes.
Okay, well,
Uh,
conclusion.
what's it?
Um,
Okay,
well, who are you today, Tom or Jerry?
I'm Gerald, and you're Timothy.
Okay. Well, Gerald
Yeah.
is not okay with poor people around him.
Whoa!
That's kind of the thing, right? Because you that's
No.
also about iPhones, right? Like you like that it's prohibitively expensive. I just like the features, but I'm okay with other people being in my ecosystem. That's basically what iPhone users are saying.
I
Like
mean,
if
no,
Android,
that's not what we're
oh,
saying.
yeah,
Like honestly, it does seem like we want to get away from poor people. It's
mm,
exclusive, and we do seem more sheepish than Android users, arguably, because we
yeah,
like limited features and someone to tell
and
us
being
what
told what to
features.
do. Yeah,
Um,
like
no,
prisoners.
that's not the conclusion. Let's just put a pin in it for now, and then let me think about that. But what are we talking about now?
Mm,
Okay. Some people. I'm gonna be real honest. Like I really, I'm not sure who I wanted to win,
mm,
and I'm in a red state, so it really doesn't matter who I vote for anyway. But
mm.
and like I do think both
No,
candidates are.
I think it really mattered this time for
I
you.
mean, for me,
Yeah.
no, I really like the next day. I was like very indifferent. Oh, it
No, no,
matters.
no, no.
Well,
Yeah. No, you're a swing. You're in a swing state. I'm pretty
oh,
sure
was
you're a
I
swing
pretty
state.
close? I don't know.
Well, the projections leading up to it were saying that go either way.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, well, like both candidates are kind of crazy. Both parties are kind of crazy,
Mm.
but at least it's different. I don't know. It'd be nice to just kind of see, and at the very least, no. Okay, the thing I wanted to bring up. Some people are too, in my opinion. Okay, hold on. See, this is why it's good to be anonymous because I'm gonna say something that's gonna make a lot of people upset.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Do
some
do it.
people are too upset, guys. Like, guys,
Yeah,
we're a
yeah,
little too upset. Like it's almost like somebody killed a member of your family. That's how upset some people are. Is it no, okay. Well, what do you think? And I'm trying to understand people with that reaction, and I get it somewhat, right? I do get that at least women's rights, it's better if you vote Democrat, I guess. But like how much is our lives really gonna change in the next 4 years?
yeah. I feel like you're closer to that extreme of the spectrum. So I was gonna ask
I'm not
you.
an extreme, I'm moderate
No, 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 no. I'm
ish.
saying you're closer to that side of the
Oh,
spectrum than I am. To
versus
that
you. Oh,
extreme
yeah,
side.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I genuinely I didn't. I it's weird because
Like people,
one, yeah.
how many people are really upset? Like really upset.
So yeah, there was a few, but I actually know so I know somebody who said that she had friends who were like
Falling?
so despondent. Like
Yeah.
they were pretty much like unwilling to function like for like a week. I I I don't know. I don't but you know what it is though? I think the mainstream media has been saying and like the Biden campaign and the Harris campaign, they kept saying that it was an existential threat to democracy, right? Like if Trump won, he's like this Hitler, so it's gonna it's gonna cause our democracy to fail or something like that. So if I really believed that, I guess it makes sense as to why I would be so upset and so afraid.
Like he's a
But
fascist that is just gonna take away all of our rights.
right,
Sure. I mean, but that seems it's a lot. No?
I think I think if like I think me and you are in the category of more informed than most, like the real casual, politically engaged people. So if they hear just the headline stuff like that, then it's possible that they really believe it. But I think for us, we're more because we are more informed.
Hey, even though
We,
I'm an Apple user, no, it's not even being informed. I just, think very, I don't want to say logically because then it implies other people are illogical.
yeah.
Rational, that doesn't sound
Uh,
great either. But, just like, let's calm down and kind of think about it. Like, how much really is going to change? I mean, I know like the Congress is red right now. Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah,
And like, I mean, I don't know. I've been alive for more than 30 years. A president hasn't changed that much, I feel like. But
yeah.
if you maybe I don't know. So if someone is feeding you information that's saying that Trump can make some crazy drastic radical changes, then sure. Sure, I could be pretty upset. But I think for most people, like you're not going to feel any difference.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know. I don't know.
I agree with you.
Can we
And
agree?
if
Are we gonna? I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to seem insensitive either. But
and
yeah,
I think what you're saying is reasonable, but
I don't
for
like that you
people
think I'm being reasonable. I don't like that. I'm
No,
okay.
but I will say for people who are really invested in the idea that Kamala Harris was the answer to all their problems and Donald Trump was the cause of all their problems, then yeah, I mean, there's not really you can't really say anything to convince them otherwise, right? So I think their reaction really just shows what their state of mind was.
Some people too. Like, there's this YouTube channel I follow, and he goes to sports events, and he always like he has two jerseys, and whoever
Mhm.
loses, he wears the opposite jersey.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that? And
No.
then okay, so then and he would just stand there in public outside the stadium, and then
Uh,
all these people will get so angry. Like he gets into fights, people punch him, people spit on him. Like
mm,
people who have I think 9 to 5s who on Monday if they see themselves on YouTube could get fired.
yeah.
Like they do these crazy things, and I think something about party loyalty is very very dangerous.
You
Like
know, I was at a football game wearing my hometown team's jersey
mhm.
with my wife.
In your
And this
hometown.
was yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is several years ago.
Uh,
But we're just walking down and then going to the stadium and then like they looked like college students,
mhm.
but they were like dressed up in business casual, so maybe they were like
Rat
coming
guys.
from work or something. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
like
what they were.
okay. Were they
But they
like
were
in
like
almost suits or polos?
no, 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 no. Yeah, they're like just like button up and like
I
khakis.
see, I see.
They like came up to us and like I don't even remember who the opposing team was, but they just like yelled their team like in our face, like really aggressively. And I
That's
was like,
crazy.
what a psycho, right? Like
Yeah.
who does that to somebody that they don't know for something that they have so little control over and also doesn't impact their life in the slightest. Like
Yeah.
if that kid um like if he is still that way, dude, I don't know. Like is he gonna be okay in like the real world? Like
Mm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
people who react like that, I honestly, I don't know how they got like that because it's
Mm,
years of bad parenting, of just like not a lot of supervision, and for
mm,
some reason you think, because I see this comment a lot. There's a lot of people online who are too comfortable, who have been so comfortable not being punched in the face, you know, and a lot of
yeah,
kids grow up like that, and no one's ever like given them any accountability, and then of
yeah.
course then that's gonna breed psychopaths, but.
Mm,
Yeah, I can't imagine being so passionate about like players in a team that they couldn't care less about you, and you're
yeah.
willing to fight people and die for it. Like yeah, and so see that I think is it resembles people's political party loyalties. Like I
Mm,
actually hate the two-party system. I hate it.
yeah.
Like, are we the only country that does it? Because anyway, I don't know. I can't name the countries without giving too much about myself. But the countries I do know of, they don't do
Mm.
that.
Like the UK, I think has a rank choice voting system, right?
Like some countries, it's just anybody can run, and the people. It's not like, oh, we have to decide which. If you like this person, they have to pick a party, one of the blue, blue or red, and they have to run to have any chance. Like
Mhm.
people in some countries, they just are good candidates. They run themselves, and it's actually like a popular vote, and you don't have to just
Yeah.
vote for your party. You know,
Yeah.
it makes no sense. America is so weird.
America is weird. But, it is
Where else can we go?
arguably the huh?
Yeah, where else could we go?
It is arguably the best. Like, it is at least militarily the strongest country in the world. If
Honestly,
you're
I don't
talking
know
about
where else I would go just for weather. Yeah. Canada seems
uh,
nice, but it seems too cold. But I hear a lot of bad things about Canada too, like the prime minister.
yeah. You know what's crazy? I read an article, this was just a headline, so I don't know how real this is, but apparently somebody went into the hospital because they were depressed and they just wanted like psychological help.
Mhm.
And they were like, have you considered euthanization?
In Canada?
Yeah, like they offer up like assisted suicide as
That's
a
actually, you know, in games, if you say that, you get banned.
yeah.
All right, thanks for listening. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.